Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to our first weekly outlook for this year. Let me thank you for coming. Thank you for the support you've been giving me in TradingView. I think everybody in here knows and have seen my account on TradingView. If you haven't, please go check it. If you like what I do, you can click the likes. That's good. It keeps it. The good thing about a like is that it keeps the charts on top so that more traders can see it. That's the only point I have about that. I really don't care very much about the likes themselves. I just want other traders to see the charts, right? And if the charts is at the bottom, then nobody sees it, basically. So the more traders see it, the more they learn and the more they gain experience from it. I've had I've had a ton of messages of people who are not in my group telling me how much money they made and how successful they were following those charts and how it helped them in their trading. I'm always happy to have that. That makes my day. And you hear that. And I've got, for last year, I've got two messages that I want to single out that really, really made my day. One was a guy who wrote me, said he write me to apologize because he said a year ago I was trolling your charts and I literally said all your charts were bad and that, he's a ton of things that he said, he listed them, and then he said, I want to apologize because I took the time to look at a lot of your charts for the year and I've started using that method and it's really helping me. So I really want to apologize for what I did. I that made my day because it shows me that, even though some people initially, for whatever their reason are, tend to want to do something that's wrong, it's good to acknowledge it. Acknowledging that you were wrong takes strength. It's not from weakness. It takes strength to acknowledge that what you did was not good and you want to apologize, and you've seen the benefit of it, which is good. And the second one, for a guy who wrote me about, if you guys in the room, you don't have to identify yourself, the guy who wrote me about the S&P 500 one, because I posted a chart, I think sometime early last year, I think, about S&P 500 when it was in the correction. And I did mention in it that I'm not very much aware about the S&P 500 because I'm not trading it and I don't know a lot about it. But technically, it's just 6 to 10 months correction is going to go up. And I got a ton of people who came down on me. I mean, seriously. Those guys came down that they were trading it and they're trading that this thing is going to crash and it's a big time and how dare I think it's going to go up and, all of that. So eventually it went up. It did exactly as we expected, consolidated for about 8-9 months, and now it's going up. And the guy said, I want to apologize for that too. And I figure out you were one of the only people who got it correct. He said, most of us who trade the news eventually got it wrong. So he wanted to he thinks this is worth looking at technical trading and what I do in Elliott Wave. So I think those two, among the hundreds that I get that I really enjoyed, and thank you for them, those two stand out quite a lot. So, okay, guys, let's go. Let's start the webinar. This year, I want to show you this chart. This is a long-term chart that I posted earlier in the dollar index. And we said the dollar index is in a consolidation and it should break out for one more impulse to the upside because that was pretty clear to see. I don't think that was very difficult to see. So this wave going up here will end a 5-wave structure. See that? This going up here will end the 5-wave structure. And when that 5-wave structure ends, the dollar will go either in a deeper correction, a much bigger correction, or totally fall, which means we can expect it to come back and retest this low. If the dollar follow this as a channel, which means if we get this dollar index coming up here, a little more, I don't think it's going to go that far, and then start to come down, it could do two things. It could repeat this move, right, before it goes back up, or it could just go into a deeper consolidation, which would be a 1, 2, 3-wave structure, something like this here. See that 3-wave structure? Something like that. So one out of the two we're actually looking for. One out of the two. And either way, the move to the downside is going to be a big one, which is what we're going to be looking at, right? We're still in this structure. Now, can this keep going up, making an extended wave in the 5th wave? Possible, but unlikely, because I don't see that in the structure right now. And that means we're going to go down in the structure in the daily. And on the daily, I can tell you for sure there is one more move up in this move going here. We're going to get one more move back to the 270 there. That's almost a 90% guarantee to see one more move up in the dollar index. Just watch it. But for now, on the 4 hour, we're in a consolidation. And that means while it's still in that consolidation, it is going to come down first. Right? So how far would that downside be? If you pull a trend line here, we broke this trend. This is a lower degree trend. If you pull this one, let me just set it correct. Give me a second. If you pull this trend line here, we broke that trend. And that means there's potential for this to come back to the trend line, the bigger trend line. Right? So we would be looking for a sell opportunity somewhere in here, come down back lower before it goes up for that final move. So what we're going to do is we're going to make the forecast and we're going to track it step by step. Every week we're going to track the forecast, see how it works. If there's a change in the structure, we would change the forecast as it goes. Right? All we're doing is making forecasts, and that's just forecasting. It's not that we're, as one guy put it, we don't, as one trader put it, we don't tell the charts what to do. No, we don't tell the charts what to do. That is not what forecasting is about. It's not about telling the charts what to do. It's about understanding what the chart will do. That's the difference. So you must learn to forecast. Let me repeat that. If you ever want to be a successful trader, you must learn to forecast, because you can never be successful without learning to forecast. And it's simple. When you say, I'm planning to buy the euro, what you're doing is you're saying, I made a forecast that the euro is going to go up. That's what you're saying. And that means you're forecasting the euro to go up. Now, if you're using a tool that allows you to forecast with high accuracy, you may get it right. If you're using a tool that doesn't have any forecasting method in it, you may get it right, you may get it wrong. You can flip a coin and say, okay, heads I'm buying, tail I'm selling. And believe me, you may be right, but that's not a good strategy. That's not something that you can work with if you want to trade. That's not consistency. So the best forecasting tool in the world that exists today, that we know of, is wave theory. It allows you to forecast the next coming wave. That's it. So you may want to learn to use the best tool in the world. That's so simple. I think that's what I want to get to you guys. It is that simple. You want to learn to use the best tool that allows you to forecast, because forecasting is what you're doing when you trade. I think that explains everything. Anybody who tells you anything else, I don't know on what basis they're telling you that. Because once you say I'm buying or I'm selling, that is a forecast. Right? It's that simple. So what we are saying is we think that there's going to be a sell setup here. So first webinar of the year, let me clear that up. When I said it's a sell setup, what I'm saying is that it is looking to me like this structure is going to go in the direction to the downside. That's not a trade call. That's a setup. Now, if that setup works out well, you will have to have a strategy to trade it. Remember, we have strategies in our trading room, but we do not discuss the strategies in the trading room. In these webinars, we don't discuss it, sorry. We discuss it only in our trading room for my traders. So don't ask me for the strategies. I can't give you, but I can give you the sense of direction they're going to go. Now, if you have a strategy to trade that, you're going to do excellent. If you don't, you need to learn to do it. Right? So watch this. I think this is going to go some more down. And that means we're going to expect upside on the euro. The euro on the big picture broke out of this daily pattern. Remember, we're looking at this daily pattern, and there were a number of options of how it could develop. Let me just pull this line and show you. So one of the option was that this is either an A, B, C, we call them contracting flat. It's a regular flat that should come down. And the other one was an A, B, C, D, E, and then come down. But the side it's going to go, the impulse is going to go down. Now that it is broken out of the structure, we know it's downside. So what we were expecting this to do now is to make some kind of a correction up here, something like this, and then go down. So if dollar index is coming down some more, euro should likely go up some more, and then look for the next impulse to the downside, right? So let's go look at that. 4 hour. 4 hour, we have made this big one. You remember this consolidation? We said, wait, I think this was where we had somewhere in here where I posted in the daily that possibility for those two. Now that we are going down, I think what you're going to look for is a corrective move to the upside. And I believe, very strongly believe, this is already the start of this corrective structure here. Maybe some more to the upside, and then we would look for that trade to the downside. So any trade you're going to take within this structure, and some traders do trade within the corrective structures themselves, is going to be short term. Now, I like to wait for a confirmation for my trade, which means I don't jump in the candle believing that that candle is going to turn from there because there's a fib there, because there's a trend line there, because there's a moving average there, because I draw something on the chart. Because I or you draw something on the chart does not mean that the market knows that it's there and it's going to turn from there. You can put as many fibs as you want. The market knows nothing about your fibs. So do not expect the market to turn at your 618 fib just because you think it will do that. That's an imagination. And if you keep trading your imagination, you will lose a lot of trades. What you need to trade is what the market is doing. You can use a fib as an enhancing tool to tell you, is the market going to turn at the 618? And if it turns at the 618, then you look for a trade setup. You don't just sell at the 618 hoping that that's a magical place where the market turns every time, because it doesn't. That is not true. If you want to know that is true, open an account and sell all, buy and sell all the 618s. And within less than a month, you'll come back and tell me the account doesn't exist anymore. That's not how the market moves, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to wait for this. It may come to the 618 in turn. We don't know that. We will allow it to do that. And when we see that it has done that, we would look for the trade to the next target that we have on the lower side, right? Most of you know I use the fib for the 270 target. That's a 90% chance of getting there. It does go farther than that, right? It does go much farther than that, but that is where we always put our focus. So right now in this consolidation, expect the market to make some more up. On a 1 hour, you can look for a buy setup, which means you're looking for an impulse, a consolidation, and another impulse. So if this one makes a flag setup here and it's making a corrective structure, we can look for that one up. Can we look for a sell setup in here? Like I said, any sell setup in here, unless you break the low, will be short term. So if you get a small flag in here, you can look for a sell setup. That was going to be a short-term trade until it breaks the low. Right? That is going to be a very short one. Alexander. What is your problem? Give me a second, guys. Let me just remove somebody from this room. Okay. Yes, let's go. I just had to remove somebody. You guys didn't see what he was writing, but he was writing something not very nice. Actually, it's an insulting word, not to me directly, but I don't know what he's trying to say there. He wrote it in Russian and it went to the panelists, so I just actually removed him. Let's go. Sorry about that. You have people like that sometimes. I don't know what's their problem. So let's go. 4 hours. Look for this trade to the upside. And then we would look for a selling trade. We would look for a trade selling to the downside. So I think we will get some more correction to the upside and then the downside. Pong. Pong broke this structure. All of you saw that. So there were sell setups. It didn't make a correction and it's going. Here is where I want to warn you. Be careful of selling the Pong now. There's a very likelihood that the Pong is going to make one more upside before it goes down. We're looking for a bigger three-wave possible correction. And if you want to see a one like that, let me show you it here. You had a 1, 2, 3. They made a 1, 2, 3. They broke. You see they broke out the trend line there, went right back up, and then came down. Watch that possibility here. It's very, very possible that they can repeat that same structure here. Breaking out, come down, going back up, and then come. So what we're going to do if you're going to trade it, if you're looking for a trade setup here for a sell, which is possible, wait until this makes a flag here. And then sell. Don't jump into the sell because it breaks this structure. Because you can end up losing that trade and watch it go up and miss the buy setup. So there's a potential for this to make one more up and then the downside. So watch this trade very good. We do have a lot of divergence in here. You can also see that. So there's a potential that they could reverse this back to the upside. And then we get the one more down. But the Pong on the higher time frame is going to make one more down as much as the dollar index is going to make one more up, right? We remember we said dollar index would likely make one more up. Pong will definitely make one more down before it turns. So I'm expecting probably most likely like this and then the downside. If this is going to continue to go down, all you need to do is wait for a flag and sell it. And let it go. If it goes, it goes. No big deal. But there's a potential for that to happen. So you don't want to jump into the sell immediately. You want to wait for the setup. Aussie? Same thing I warn here. I see people were selling. I like warn. Don't sell it because it's, you know, it's at some place. Wait for it to make something that is sellable. And potentially, I think Aussie should break this bottom. We're looking for a simple three-wave pattern. Let me show you what it is. I posted it, so it's not like nobody saw this. 1, 2, 3. And I always like the C wave to break the bottom of the A wave before they go back up. Now, they don't always break it. But for me, breaking it is the confirmation, right? Because I can't forecast that they're not going to break it. So I always forecast like they're going to break it and then see what happens, right? So in this case, we're trying to see what's going to happen here. Is they're going to break it? There's a chance that they will still break it, right? So there's a chance that we may get one more move to the downside, break this level, and then turn to the upside. And that is going to give us the big wave to the upside we're looking for, right? Remember, potentially we think dollar index has one more upside and then a big one more upside and then the big move down. So one more down and then the big move up. If we're correct, this is what we're going to have. An impulse up, a correction, and another impulse up. Right? So let's see. There is a very slight chance that we might not get that downside and they may take off, but I don't see that happening right now. I don't have a setup to buy this as yet. There isn't a buy setup in it, but there's a potential good sell setup even in the 1 hour. You got to break, you're getting a flag, and if they break this flag, they go. If they break the top and break out of this, don't jump into the buy immediately, right? Wait for them to make a flag for a buy. We don't have a structure. They could break this top and still reverse. Break this top and still reverse. All my traders know that. I'm just telling you that. I'm not telling you why and how it works, but I'm telling you that potentially could happen. So we're looking for this sell setup, and if we get that, would be amazing. That's a nice sell, and then you get into the buy to the upside, right? New Zealand, very similar structure. Possibility for one more down and then up. Remember this up one. I was showing this up one that it's going to make 1, 2, 3. Here's how structure works, and this is where people start freaking out. We said we got 1, 2, 3 here, and they went up. So the potential was that 1, 2, 3, and this one is going to go up, right? That's a possibility. And then we looked at this structure as it starts to develop. And I said, no, guys, that is a corrective structure. So we have one more down. There is a chance it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then go up. But we look at the structure again, and we said this one is not looking aggressive. So we think this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then potentially up. So far, the whole structure is still showing us potentially upside. At least one more upside to complete 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the downside. So we have that upside still there. Let's see if it's going to happen. 4 hour. This is just going, don't jump into these trades as yet. If you're going to take that trade, keep a very big stop because it's going to go above. I think it could get back to about a 618 here. And if it does something like that, we will get a sell setup from there. I'm not quite interested in this so much because I think it's a short trade. We'll see how it goes. And if it goes and we get the sell, if we get the sell, it's okay. We're looking for a buy from there upwards. Right? So let's see if we get that. Watch this trade. This could be an ending diagonal pattern. Keep an eye on it. Let's see how it goes. But you can look for the sell. If you get a good setup, sell it. Take the sell setup because we don't know that they're not going to break this structure and go much lower, right? They could. Remember I said, if you put a trend line there, it doesn't mean it's going to stop there. These are just tools. These are just tools to help you understand what you're doing. I'm not saying it's going to stop here. I'm saying if it comes there and start a turn and you get a setup, take the trade. We will look for that sell setup, right? Swiss, we were looking for one downside last year after this corrective structure, but they eventually broke the top. So any downside on the Swiss will be an expanding flat pattern, right? As of now, we're still looking at this whole piece as one upside, but I think it could be an expanding flat pattern. Possibility is you're going to get one more up first to that 270 within this channel looking structure, because this is going more sideways than downwards, and it could go back here. Right? So any sell setup you get in here would be short term on a 1 hour. Possible, it could be very short term. If you get a sell setup in here, if it does this, if it comes back and start doing this structure here, starts making some kind of a flag here, look for one more sell before you get an up, because this would become some kind of a 1, 2, 3 wave structure. Right? Keep an eye out for that. US CAD, I think this one will spend some more time starting from the weekly. Nothing has changed so far. I'm really liking this chart. Let me take everything out so I can give you guys an idea. This is the big one for this year, and don't miss it. I don't care what strategy you use to trade. I don't care what level of trading you're in. I don't care what you ever look at the chart. This thing has a 99.9% of coming down. One more move like this, or much bigger than that. Don't miss it. This will double your account. Don't miss it. It is very, very, very likely it's going to happen. Look at this. Seen this one here? See this one here? See this one here? Well, you're making one there. That's all you need to know. Now, what you need to know is where you're going to enter, right? So let's go to the daily. And entering means anytime they come back to that top, you're selling, you're selling, you're selling, you're selling. And if they go back there, we sell again. And if they come here and go back there, we sell again. And if they come here and go back there, we sell again until we get this. Every single one of those sell will give you money. We only lost one sell so far. One of them we took break even. It was in profit, but we took break even because we wanted to keep it. But 3 of them gave us profit, and we took the profit from the 3 of them. And we're in this one now. So what do you do with that one? Do you take it off or do you keep it? So let's go see what we will do with that one. First, we're going to pull a trend line across here. And we're now at the bottom of the trend here. So if you got the first sell setup, which is this one, you can move your stop to somewhere here. and keep half of the profit, or take some out and just move your stop and keep that trade. What we need to see is what they're going to do here. They're not making a fast reversal. You see, this was a fast reversal. This was fast reversals. This one was fast reversal with a flag and then go, right? This was fast reversal. This was fast. This was fast. This is not doing that. But it's potentially could do this. And then come down. Why that pattern? Because if you look backwards, I showed this and then explained this in the chart. If you look backwards, that was what they did here. They did 1, they did a 2, they did 3. This is a corrective structure. And then they go back up one more. So this could be 1, this could be 2, this could be 3, and then we could go back one more up. Right? Now, I don't know if it's going to go back one more up, but if it comes back one more up, we sell from the top again. They will take us out in this trade and we will sell from the top again. And this time we're keeping it. So what is it doing right now? Pull a trend line to the downside. This doesn't look like an aggressive move to the upside right now. So probably put your stop somewhere here and wait. If it just do something like this and drop, move your stop again. Once they cross this line, you want to see what happens at the bottom here. It will either be a very fast reversal or it's going to be a consolidation at the bottom there. Fast reversal, get out. Consolidation, stay in. If you're out of the trade, wait until it gives us a structure here for a seller or buy. We don't have either right now. But don't miss that sell setup, either out of the trend line or at the top of the charts, right? So one guy said, he wrote in my charts, and these guys are amazing. I don't know why he's selling that thing. Hey, I explained this thing like 100 times. You still don't know why I'm selling it? Please, come. Don't just write things because you can write, right? I explained this chart like 100 times. He still doesn't understand why I'm trying to sell it. That's why, because it's going to double your account if you get that big move. If you get that big move and you manage to keep it, you will watch your account double. I don't care if you're using a 1% or 2% risk or even a 0.5% risk, you're going to make 50% in your account because you're going to keep adding trades to the one trade that you started with, and it's going to go amazing. Some of my traders made 2 trades in this to the bottom there. And they'll probably, if they break, they'll probably add more trades to it. That's it. That's trading. We'll come back to that. New Zealand breaking line, trend line. No, it's not breaking. This is just a short piece here. We're not looking at that. Not a trade there. So look at this one. US CAD, let's go to the next one, US Yen. Yen also broke up pretty sharp. We didn't expect that much of a sharp move upside. So the question now is, this is the Yen structure, and this is what we'll look at. Let's bring this down to the monthly so you guys could see. If any one of you are looking at the Yen structure in particular, this thing came from like way at the top there. I mean, really way at the top there. So what we're looking at is this is the absolute low. If this is your first move up and they make another move like that, and then they make another move like that, there's a chance they could make another move like this before they go back up. Make a 3-wave structure in here and then go back. You know, there's a 3-wave structure in there before they came down. So potentially this could come back some more down before breaking this top. If they break through that top, that's it. It's going up. So right now we are in some kind of a consolidation there in the 4-hour. We're in some consolidation here. They're likely going to do something like this, maybe something like that. And if they make a structure like this, this is upside short term. But you can keep this trade and see where it goes. Move your stop, follow it, and see where it goes. Potentially, I think upside. Any trading to the downside for now is short term. Right? This one, if you're in this trade this morning in my trading room, I said possible we're looking for this, and then we're looking for this. back to the top there, and then maybe one more down before they go. But that is when you understand how we look at structure, right? You guys would not understand why we do that, because most of you don't have an idea how we look at structures and what structure we're looking for. But we're also looking, it's in consolidation, put it short. You can put an entry order above the top and don't worry about that, right? But that's a long-term one. Short-term, in terms of the 1 hour trades, just trade the flags if you get any. We don't have any flag here. If it makes a flag here, something like this, you get one more trade down. So if it makes a flag here, you get one more trade down and then the upside. So these, right now, when it's in a consolidation, it gives you short-term trade, very short-term trade. Wait until it breaks out and then you get the long-term trade, right? Euro Oz is a sell setup. I don't know if any one of my traders took this. We identified a sell setup here. I think Euro Oz is coming back to test this low. Let me just give you here, retest that low. So it's a good sell setup probably here for those of you who get it. Waiting for what? So we've completed all the majors. We're going to run through randomly some of the charts that I think have very good potential, because we don't have time for all the charts and we would leave some time for news. We will come to the Aussie New Zealand because we're in that trade. But first, let's go to the Euro New Zealand, right? And this one, potentially, you can see that this is about to break. You may want to take that trade. There's a very good chance they'll retest the low before that big move up. That big move up will happen. Don't miss it, guys. This move up will happen. It's just a matter of time, so don't miss it. So what you're looking for now, potentially short trade, downside. Take the downside trade and see how far it goes. It could go 1, 2, 3 and then up. This would be amazing. We'll be in that trade. Or it could come retest the low and then up. But that upside is very, very, very close to happening, right? So don't miss it. Don't miss that upside. There's a sell setup here, so watch it. There's a nice sell setup there. I think I posted this, so everybody's seen this. Euro yen, somebody said. Let's look at the euro yen and see. Potentially euro yen is in a sideways move also on the daily. See that? That's a daily consolidation. A wave up, a pullback, and I think we're going to get some more here. And then the upside. So if you're selling the euro yen, you probably want to do it in a short-term basis, 60-minute, 4-hour, right? Yeah, you want to sell it short-term. That I wouldn't jump into the sell right now because I think that's gone. For me, that's a trade that is gone. You want to wait for this to pull back and then sell it, you know, something like this, and then sell it. So you always wait for when it goes up like that, you wait for it to pull back and then take the upside. So wait for this to go back here, make a flag, and then sell it. That would be the better opportunity for you, right? So let's go. Next one. Somebody asked for the Euro Pong. I'll just do this because the Euro Pong, yes, I published this one. I said, wait for this breakout. Let me put it. Wait for this breakout and then sell. So let's go look at this trade. It is still a sell setup, by the way, just to remind you. We were looking at this pattern and possibility of making. Possibility of it to make a 1, 2, 3, come back for a 4 here, and then go for the 5th, right? If you saw the trade that I posted, I think I have it. Let me see. It's on the 4-hour, right? Let me bring it up. So we're looking for a possible 5 waves. Come here, go back up, and then come down, right? Possibility. Instead, they just go up. You never had a trade. That's a trade setup, see? You never got a trade. It never broke the trend line. It just go up, but it break the top. So that means there's a potential for this to still come down. You notice? It's still down. We're not looking for an upside. Let me show you that. Whoever asked the question, this is your impulse. This is a deeper correction and then downside. We're still expecting it to go down. Now, can it go a little more up before it go down? Possible. I don't have a setup that says buy it. It's that simple. You can buy, but I don't have a setup that says buy it. So potentially I'm waiting for the sell setup to trigger, right? The other ones I want to show you is, let's go to the Aussie New Zealand. That has a we're in this trade and we plan to keep it. We have no intentions of closing that trade as yet, right? It broke the trend line. It broke everything. All of you remember the trade I accidentally posted for you guys in the 786 buy, and then I said, okay, I'll give it to you. That was a trade in our trading room. We had an entry order there sitting for a couple of days, a week, I think, or 2 weeks. More than that, maybe a month, and then it eventually triggers and go up because we are anticipating this trade here to the top there. And we are not going to close it until it gets to the top, right? Let it get to that top. That is the trade we're looking for. And we think potentially it's going to break out and go to that trade, 270. So we are in the long run for that. We are not worried about it. We had the entry order there for more than a month. Why would we worry about the trade itself? If the structure starts to change, I will repost it for you guys. So far, nothing in the structure is changing. But if it starts to change, I will repost the chart for you guys. Right now, it's not changing. Right? Let's go. The other one that I want to show you guys, we were in for long term, but we are out now. We closed the trade. That is the Aussie CAD. We're in for the long-term trade in this. All of you remember we sold it to the top here. Remember that sell setup there? So it's I think there's a there's a sell setup we took there. We eventually closed it somewhere in here. My traders took it, then they closed it. And now we think potentially we're going to get a move to the upside. By the way, it may be breaking right now. Right? We're looking for that trade to go up, come back here, and go up. One out of the two, we're looking for that potential setup, right? It's either going to go now, or it's going to come back here and then go. We'll see. We're looking for a buy right now, and the buy is short term. It's a corrective structure to the upside. It's not a long-term trade to the upside. Gold and silver. Silver, simple. You have a nice sell setup here on the 4 hour. You can see that short term, and on the daily, it's a sell setup. I think that's easy to see, right? You don't want me to tell you. There's a potential that it could come here. And then probably one more down before you get there. See? It's easy, right? Remember I was selling when people were crazily buying silver. I said, no, watch it. Sell setup, sell setup. All these were sell setups. These were corrective structures for more downside. When everybody here was going crazy, we said, watch it. It has to go down because we have a 5-wave complete structure here. We have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave structure. We need to correct it. So the correction is in play. I still think this looks a little corrective right now. I don't see potentially for it to go back very high. We'll keep a track of it. But if this break here, you can take the short-term trade with the intention for it to break. Watch this level. So it may be a short-term trade with that intention, right? Just watch it for that purpose. Gold, I think gold also is looking short-term. Maybe you get a little buy, but it looks like one more drop before they go. I think one more drop here is possible before they go. Right? Keep your eyes in gold for that. I don't have a buy setup on gold. There's a very short 15-minute trade buy setup. I really don't like to trade gold that short. Right? This possibility of breaking. Just watch it. It's not going very aggressive, but it's a very, very short trade to the upside. More likely, it's a downside one. Right? Oil. Let's see what else we have. Oil. Oil is downside. We're in the trade already, basically. UK oil also downside, same thing. You can look for sell setups. Yes, the recordings also will be out. Bitcoin, let's see. Somebody wants S&P 500 daily. It's still more upside. Watch this level. This one, let me show you this in detail. This is the last wave up on it, right? I posted this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the last wave up. How high would this go? Is a possibility. We don't know how high this will go, right? Put it in the daily. On the daily, you can see that you're starting to get some divergence and it's not going very aggressive. So potentially what you can see here is that they will probably make some pullback, go, make pullback, go. So if you're not in the buy from this one, probably you want to be careful of short-term buy, wait for a pullback, get in the trade, right? 4 hour, let's see what it's doing. 4 hour, I still think you may get a little more upside before they come down. Slightly, right? You can watch this 4 hour one, this 4 hour small move here so that it keeps going up. If it breaks, you look for a short-term sell. Any sell in this for now is short-term. Watch this 270 area here. That is around the 24.30, because that would be the top of the channel and the weekly and the monthly. That would be the top of the channel, and that would be where the 270 is my area where I think they normally get 90% of the chance of going, and where it's going to go from there. We'll see where it's going to go from there, right? But that will end the fifth wave very close, and then you will look for deeper corrections in it. What else? Copper trade, we closed it also. We were in the copper sell, very short term, that sell there. There's another sell potential here. You can see that there's another sell potential. We would look to sell it again, right? For those of you who are paying attention there. And what else? I think that's about it that you guys want to see. The course starting date, let's leave that for when the questions come in, when everybody who doesn't want to hear about the course can decide if they want to stay or go, basically, right? So that is for this. Okay, Peng Yen. Okay, a lot of requests for Peng Yen. Let me just do Peng Yen. That's the last one, and then I'll go give you guys some information, take some more questions. Peng Yen already broke, right? They broke this. You saw the flag break. This one went pretty fast. Put it in the 1 hour. That was a trade setup. Yep, trade setup, good one. Any one of you, I think all of you saw that. You're in the sell. It broke the low, so you keep that sell now. Let's see. And you have a downtrend here. Peng Yen going pretty good. I think a lot of you are in that trade already, right? That was easy to see, right? And we don't do all those charts, and we can't do that. The BTC, the downside, I was expecting a little earlier than that, but it did go higher, and now it's coming down. It's still going to go down. That will not change the structure. Right, that will not change it. This one in my trading room, we were looking at it this morning for a sell setup. We wanted it to come here and then put the break even. Which is where is it? Put it to break even now. So okay, guys, let me go through pretty fast for those who are interested in the course. I'll try to make it as fast as possible. But we have a course starting on February the 6th, and a lot of you guys wrote me. I told you to remind me. You can start sending your reminder now. Let me explain for those who are absolutely new what our group is about and how it works. I'll do this very fast, so it's not going to bore you. What we have is a group. It's just one group. Everybody is in one place. It's on Slack. And that group, when I add you to that group, you get access to all my recordings of classes, all my recordings of webinars. You get access to our chat. You get access to our trading room. You get access to the daily webinars I do. When you join me, when you pay the money and you join, you get access to all of this immediately. And then you wait for when your next course is going to start. The next course starts in February, right? How do we do the course? The course is a 6 weeks course. The first week of the course is classes, right? The first weeks of the course is classes, which is what I do. It starts from 6 a.m. New York and it ends 7 a.m. New York. I do that myself. You get to ask questions and everything, and the questions are answered and everything. And then after that, you get 2 weeks of training in smaller groups. We put you in small groups of 10, 12 people in a small group, and you train with one of my senior traders. And after you finish with them, you get training with me. You get to do training with them, and you get to do training with me within the 2 weeks. And after that, we have one more week of classes. That is the 4th week. The first week is class. The second and third week is training. The 4th week is classes. So you get 2 more weeks of classes with me, 1 more week of classes with me. And after that, you have 2 more weeks of training. The 5th and the 6th weeks is training. So you train again, and then you come back and you train with me again, right? So the classes times are fixed, but the time for the training sessions varies. It's a 24-hour span. So you will find a time that fits you very good for the training session. You need not worry about that. All this time, you have access to everything we do in our group. And you have lifetime access to that. But you can only get lifetime access to that when you have completed the course, when you take the course. And by lifetime access, I mean you don't have to pay a single cent for the rest of your life, and you will have access to all the new things we do in the group. And I'm going to give you, I'm not supposed to do this, but I'll let you in a very, very small secret. Our group is so amazing and it's so progressive. It's the best in the world. I can guarantee you that we have worked on a brand new strategy this year. A strategy where even when we are wrong, we make money. That is all I'm going to tell you now about that strategy. We have traders who have done it. We tested it late last year, and it's amazing. We make money even when we are wrong. That's a brand new strategy we worked on. We make money when we are right. We make money when we are wrong. Very few losing trades we are going to get. It's so amazing. Not only that, you can make money both sides. You can make money both sides. It doesn't matter which direction it goes. That is how amazing this group is. We have some really, really great guys in the group. By the way, that strategy was kind of giving us to someone who's working in a bank. We have somebody who took the course who's working in a bank, real banker, and he shared it very slowly with us that, you guys should consider doing this. You don't have to sign a check. You can think it's fun, but today we were looking at it and it was amazing, right? My traders will tell you how amazing it is that we have found it's a mixed strategy, and it does work really amazing. Send me a Skype message for that. Anybody who's interested in the course, send me a Skype message. My Skype is. We started that strategy very late last year. We're testing it, and we are still testing it, but it's working really amazing. No, it's not hedging. And that's the amazing thing. I know that is what the first thing everybody says. You're talking about hedging? No, hedging is very dangerous. If you're not a hedge fund or you're not a big one. This is not hedging, but this is amazing. It's close to what you may consider hedging, but it's not. Maybe later in the year, you guys will have more about it. But for now, I'll tell you that. My Skype is MANGAL 457. Did I get it right? Yes, Mangal 457. Somebody, we have some messages we have some questions on the question. I wasn't looking at it the way you guys should have typed all your questions in the chat. Let me see what you question. Oh, you make tons of money from my idea. Congratulations. From Anonymous. I make. Somebody wrote it twice. Thank you for that. Does market change the scenario based on the analysis of experts? No, come on, don't kid me. What we do, we can't even. If all of us come together, if all the retail traders come together, they wouldn't even change a pip in the market. You guys should actually know that stuff. Those stuffs are free. You can actually have access. Go to the internet and Google Triennial World Bank report, and you will learn a lot about the Forex market itself, the size of the market, how it works, and all of that. No retail trader can move the market. Don't let people kid you. People like to say the market is a zero-sum game. In a sense, what they're saying is to every buyer there is a seller, but it's not a zero-sum game for you to lose, for me to win, right? It's not about us retail traders. We don't have any say in the market. We're like a tick. We're like a microbe on a cow in the market. Not even a tick. A tick is too big for that. We're like a microbe, and I don't know, maybe even a virus smaller than that on a cow in the market. Nobody sees us. You may need a big microscope to see us. We really can't do anything in that market except get a piece out of it if we know how to do it, right? More like a nano, yes. No, retail traders don't have any effect on the market. Don't let people fool you. On the head and shoulder and the Euro punk, I don't know. Check it. We don't look at those patterns very much. Can you look at Aussie Chief? Well, it's done. We can't do that. What is a reasonable account average? I'm reading the questions people sent to me on the Q&A. What is a reasonable account leverage for retail traders? 1 to 5 to. It's not so much about your leverage. Your leverage saves you from going bankrupt very fast. It's how much money you're borrowing. It's not so much how much you're borrowing. It's how much of your account you're risking. What you have. Forget about the leverage. How much of your money, real money, do you have? You're risking in every trade. It's more like that. Nifty. Okay, we'll look at that the next time. Which strategy want to know for best trade? No, we don't discuss our strategies in here. Sorry, John. Have I missed out a lot? Not very much. You can watch the recording. I'm a newbie in the trading. This is a long question. Trading for the last 3 months. I did the trading view. I opened an account along with I observed it. MACD indicator. What setting do we use? The MACD is standard. Just go and copy it. It's free. You can go to find Victor thing and get it. It's free. Can you speak on how you use the right time frame to get the right sense of the chart? We don't just choose a time frame. We look at the structure. It's more important than the time frame. If we miss the course classes, can we watch it later? Yes, if you miss the record, it's recorded, if that's a question. Cost, of course, just Skype me, you'll get the cost. What is the course fee? Same thing. Can you do a review on Dutch Bank? Send me the exact code you want on Skype, and I will look at it. Whether you use same time frame to trade in all duration and market hours. No, we have traders who trade daily. We have traders who trade 15 minutes. We have traders who trade 5 minutes. It's different. It's all based on structure still. When do you enter a flag breakout? That's based on strategy. We don't discuss that. What is the difference with pullback and corrective structure? You have to learn structure to understand that. We do pullback. By the way, pullback is just a common term for corrective structure in a lower time frame. Right? They're all corrective structures. If you're looking at something that is pulling back against the trend, it's a corrective structure. But when I said just look for a pullback here in the 6th, it's more like looking for a smaller structure. Like when we say flag, the word flag is just a common name for a corrective structure that you don't want to waste your time figuring out what it is. You just put 2 lines and all the correction is in there, and then you go, but it is a corrective structure, right? That's the whole point. I've been doing some studies in harmonic wave patterns and Elliott wave. I realized that to get the pattern correct, a lot of the emphasis is placed in Fibonacci. Not exactly. That's not true. How crucial is it to obtain the exact retracement point of a pattern? It's not possible to know the exact retracement unless you're looking at the end of a structure. Is the pattern considered invalid that it does not? By the way, let me just say this before everybody goes, and you guys could consider. A lot of more questions. We'll just skip all of those. A lot of people send me their charts with their counting. Please don't do that. We count totally different from the way you're counting your wave pattern. I can guarantee you that. We don't use the same counting method you use, because you're actually, somebody's even calling me now. Don't call, just add me to Skype. Yeah. My family is paying $7,000 for my college course, and I don't want to do it. I asked to give me money. You should go. No. If you ask my advice, go do your college course. If you college education is never ever useless. It's always useful. I don't care if you don't even work in that field. Colleges teach you something else. It doesn't only educate you in one field. When you go to university and you go to college, what they actually teach you is how to actually learn. That's what they should teach you. How to learn individually as a person. Because you don't get that teaching in school. In school, the teachers actually kind of spoon feed you. They teach you. When you go to college, you learn how to gather information, how to process information, how to analyze information. You learn how to become an independent researcher. You learn a lot of things in college besides just learning what you're learning as your major, right? Basically. So I would say get a college education. Never give up the college education. You can do both. You can get your college education and you become a trader. One does not affect the other. And you will become a better trader. London anytime soon? No, I'm as you remind me about that, but I'm planning in Singapore very soon. Singapore and Dubai, but London I'll come. So sorry to those 2 guys, a few guys, I think 2 or 3 people who wanted to meet me while I was in Spain, but because of the connection and I'm out of the hotel, and by the time I coming back and then they are out, we just couldn't manage to catch up. But next time I'll arrange it much earlier, so that we'll set a time exactly when we can meet up when I go to another country. Definitely love to meet traders. I met up with some of the guys in New York and it was amazing. I love to meet traders. So we will do that, right? London, not so soon. Not so soon. Yep. So, okay, guys, let me thank you for coming, all of you. I would see you next week, and I will see all of you for the entire weekend trading view. So Everybody, have a wonderful week, successful week, and I'll see you, right? Take care. By the way, we did make the record today. We broke above 300. So hope next time we can get to that 500 level. See all of you. Take care. Bye-bye.